What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to our third installment of Freestyle Frenzy. I know it's been a minute, and I just want to say I'm sorry. This video took actually a lot longer than it should have to make and, put together. And to everybody that's been paying attention to this series and the guys that have been competing in this series, I'm sorry that the third part has taken so long for me to get out there. That's my bad. Couple things came up. Obviously, if you're not watching the Throttle Out show, now every Monday and Thursday evenings on YouTube, I recently changed jobs. So I have a brand new job, brand new career path that I'm pursuing. So now I'll actually have a little bit more time to actually focus on editing and doing some other side projects here on the Throttle Out show's YouTube channel, but also holidays. For those that don't know or probably can relate, the holidays are an absolute nightmare to get through. It's just been nonstop go every single weekend. It's like we're going to one family, then the other. We're bouncing all over the place, 100 million different stops. Not to mention, I was working for FedEx still at the time, so working peak season during the holidays. Like, I was just nonstop on the go. As soon as I came home, my feet were off the ground and I was out. So I actually have some time now. I can actually focus on some side projects and actually finish what I started. We are going to finish this series. This isn't going to be a one and done type thing. No, I'm devoted. We are going to get this done and we are going to pursue moving forward. Now, today's track is actually Selene's Grove. So I've been listening to some of the people that have been commenting a little bit. Some of the competitors have been saying, hey, a lot of the tracks that you've been putting us in are very wide open. What's the deal? Anybody could go out there just wide open and just hit a jump and completely sky out a truck and do some insane freestyle, some insane crash, whatever, and build up a bunch of points. So got to talking with my good friend Bobcat. He is one of the competitors, but he also makes a lot of really awesome maps for Beam Monster's website. So if you have a chance, go and check out his little area on on Beam Monsters, all the awesome tracks that he's made. So we decided to use one of his tracks that he made as almost like a replica of one of the Renegade shows. And it is a very slim track. It's actually on a dirt track speedway. And these guys, you could tell watching this video, some of the guys were struggling. There was a lot of moving back and forth, trying to come up with stuff on the spot. And then there's some instances that you'll get to see where, well, I don't know how they were able to do this in the middle of a dirt track show. So I'm going to quit talking about it. We're going to jump straight on into it. And speaking of Bobcat, he's going to be our first runner-up, coming out first in Selene's Grove in his own track. It's Bobcat in Backlash. Check him out. Bobcat kind of whips his truck into a massive donut and brings his freestyle to an absolute close. We're going to throw up all the scores up on the screen. 120 filled time, 22 hits, 27 seconds of airtime, 2 wow hits with a total score of 42.8. Coming up next, representing the Beam Monsters truck, the only CRC in the entire competition, it is Hank and Beam Monsters. Outstanding run by Hank and the Beam Monsters truck. Not gonna lie, man, I think that transmission might be running a little hot, you know, doing those reverse moves out there. But hey, I gotta give you props for kind of sliding right in front of the crowd in style, man. That was awesome. That's some brownie points on me in that respect, man. But hey, let's look at the scores. You got 120 seconds full regulation, 19 hits, 22 seconds of airtime, and 8 wow moments, bringing your total score up to a 42.3, just shy of Backlash for the 42.8, but there's still plenty of competition left. So coming out next is another one of the old guys coming out here in his old square body. It's Doc Holliday in the Legend. Check him out. Let's go ahead and look at the score. 120 seconds, 20 freaking hits, not too bad. 24 seconds of airtime and 9 wow moments, bringing your score to a 43.3. Doc Holliday in the Legend is your new current leader. However, Will he be able to maintain this lead? Because coming out next is your back-to-back event champion, is Mike Bev in Override. Okay, as Mr. Bev finally gets his truck off the track, hopefully leaving some obstacles for the rest of the competitors. Let's kind of go over the scores here now. The score is at 43.3 from the legend. Mike Bev built time of 9 seconds, 23 minutes, 27 seconds of air time, and 7 rounds, bringing his total to 44.3. Mike Bev is now the new leader. Will this be his third event win in Freestyle Frenzy? We've still got 4 more competitors left, and I know this guy has been chomping at the bit. He has been wanting to go for Mike ever since this series has started. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Jedi Presence and Renacer. Man, Jedi, I gotta hand it to you, dude. I've seen a lot of freestyles, but never ever seen somebody's freestyle start with a front flip and end with a cartwheel. But anyway, man, let's look right into your score. You've got full time, full 120 seconds, 21 hits in your run, 20 seconds of airtime, 7 wild moments, bringing your score to a 42. So not quite for the lead, but dude, you won in our hearts. You got some amazing moments, and you should be damn proud of this run. Anyway, moving forward, we have got Jacob Lobel coming out in the dent side Ford known as Relentless. Holy crap, guys. I thought I've seen it all, but it looks like we got back-to-back front flips in this competition. How in the world are these guys able to do these type of tricks in this slim of a track? This is absolutely insane. I freaking love this competition. But anyway, Jacob, awesome run, dude. Let's look at your scores. You got 120 full time, 23 hits, 26 seconds of airtime, and 8 wild moments, bringing your total score to a 44.3. Is tied with Override, Mike Bev, and oh my gosh, this may end in a two-way tie. However, we've still got 2 trucks remaining. Of those 2 trucks, we've got the Mean Green Machine coming out next. Alright guys, give it up for Guard Blast and Green Machine coming out with the full 120 seconds, only 18 hits, 23 seconds of airtime, and 9 wild moments, bringing your score, bud, to a 42.5, just barely beating out Renaissance with Jedi presence, but unfortunately ain't going to be able to get further up the ladder. Now, there's only one truck remaining that may have the opportunity, may have the chance to take tonight's event away from Mike Bev and Override, and also Jake Lovell and Relentless. And that person is John Costin, Indie Monsters, with his truck he likes to call Bayou Basher. John Costin finishes run full time, 120 seconds, 19 hits, 28 seconds of airtime, and 5 wild moments, only bring it up to a 43 as a total score. So I just want to apologize watching that clip. For some reason, we don't necessarily know what that whining noise was. Honestly, it sounded like a really bad power steering pump. So they might have resulted in John wrecking his truck, finishing out his run. All right, guys, I gotta say, for trying to throw a curveball at our competitors here, I'm blown away seeing the amount of tricks, the amount of stuff that you guys are able to do in such a small confined space. I gotta tip my hat to you guys. That was a phenomenal event, and you guys should all be proud of what you were able to throw down there at Selene's Grove. But I may have to challenge you guys a little bit more. Maybe we need to move to an arena next time, but we'll see. We'll see what the next track may be, but we should go through. We're going to go through and check out all the scores from this previous event and see who's currently the point standings winner. So we're going to start at the very bottom, down in 8th place. Unfortunately, Renaissance, 42 points flat, unfortunately, is the very bottom. But honestly, I got to say, that is probably the first time I've ever seen a truck start with a front flip and end with a cartwheel. Regardless of the score, I think that was one of the most badass runs that we have seen this entire evening. Regardless of the points, that run, probably one of the top 5 moments of this entire season so far. Moving on up, we've got Beam Monsters scoring a 42.3, followed by Green Machine with a 42.5. So not going to lie, seeing that all the scores are relatively close, everybody was running fairly consistent. So, no ill feelings. Everybody was running hard. Everybody was running the truck literally to the brink of destruction and still brought their A game. So seeing everybody's scores relatively close within a couple of points, it's pretty awesome. Anyway, so moving past Green Machine, we've got Backlash with a 42.8, coming out of his first truck. Obviously a lot of pressure, but you know what, Bobcat, you've done nothing but improve ever since the very first event. So looking forward to see what may be coming in the next one. Then we've got Bayou Basher coming up there in the top 5, which we haven't seen recently. John Costin showing that he's done playing around, he's done pussyfooting around, and is ready and able to play with the big boys, scoring a 43. Then we got Doc Holliday in 3rd place, with the legend, scoring a 43.3. Now, this is the interesting part. We have got a 2-way tie for first place with 44.3 points going to Relentless and Override. So Override technically winning his 3rd event in a row. I know a lot of guys are going to be extremely salty about that. However, you know, the only thing you can do is just run harder. You know, the scores don't lie. I mean, I'm not sitting here being biased. I'm not sitting here trying to, make everybody upset. But there is a format that we are trying with this series, and I think Mike figured it out. Mike figured out this whole format. Everything counts. From filling time, making the amount of hits, the total amount of air time, wow moments. It all matters. So I feel like some people are focusing too much on one element of the score sheet and not on the rest, to where that really impacts and hurts them. So take that with as you will moving forward. I hope you guys really just, step it up even further, really, really push the limits of these trucks moving forward with Freestyle Frenzy Season 1. Now, moving forward, we need to see what the current series standings is, and to nobody's surprise, after hearing the results, Override obviously still at the very top with a total of 132.8 points this season. But right there, right behind him, is that Beam Monsters truck with Hank, 128.9. Then you got Doc Holliday. I think he's kind of the sleeper. He's kind of the underdog this season. The Legend with 127.1. So you never know. The Legend might come out of nowhere and run away with this thing. But here's the interesting part. You look at 4th and 5th place, there is a tie at 123.6 points. This event really helped Jacob Lobel out by getting back out of 7th place and moving all the way up to mid-pack of this series. So hopefully kind of keeps that momentum moving forward and really racks him some more points if he wants to be seen at least in the top 3 this season, at the end of the season. And then in 6th place, we've got Green Machine at 122.8, Renaisseur at 122.3, and at the very, very bottom, even after being in mid-pack at the end of this event, Bayou Basher and John Costin is still at the very bottom with 119.1 points so far this season. But we're not done yet. Hell, I don't even think we're halfway done yet. These guys, I mean, they're chomping at the bits. They're constantly yelling and arguing with each other. It's like, well, why are you doing that? Why are you doing this? Honestly, it's free game. As you guys can tell, I really kind of loosened the leash a little bit on these guys, because honestly, who wants to see more realistic stuff? I mean, honestly, if Tom Mintz or Ryan Anderson or even Dennis Anderson back in the heyday could do it, I want to see it in Beam Monsters. Obviously, I don't want these guys literally dropping their trucks from the atmosphere. But honestly, that's the kind of range that these guys have, because driving realistically or driving like somebody you'd see at a fairground show, especially for a fantasy league, well, it's kind of boring. I really want to see what these guys are capable of and capable of bringing to the table, whether it means completely destroying their truck or just doing something absolutely wild and crazy. It's something that you may think a real monster truck may not be able to do. That's the kind of stuff we want to see here on the Throttle Out Show with Freestyle Frenzy. But that's all the time that we've got for today's episodes, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And honestly, we want to thank you so much for the amount of support that we've had from 2021, now moving into 2022. The Throttle Out Show has just made leaps and bounds with the short amount of time that we have been around, putting out monster truck content for you guys. And seriously, thank you guys so much, from just the support on the website, support on our YouTube, our Facebook, our Instagram. You guys really help us make this channel and everything that we're trying to do with the brand really grow, and we'll never forget that, because we love that you guys support us. We love the amount of support you guys give us, and we will never forget that. And I seriously, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I never would have thought back in February as an idea for a monster truck talk show would it blow up to where within a couple months time we would see trucks all across the country repping our flags. And now not just seeing that in real life, but seeing that in the Beam Monster side of things too. And honestly, it's overwhelming. It's honestly mind-blowing. And seriously, thank you guys. We love you for it. But I'm going to quit being mushy, and I'm going to go back to doing some more. I got some more projects I got to do, work. But anyway, guys, that's all I got time for today. But remember, when in doubt, throttle out. Peace out. I'll see you guys in the next one.